Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Garrett, and today basically what I want to do is show you guys my reptile setup. And as you can see right here, I've got my normal ball python, not named. It's a male. Don't have a name for him, so I guess I'm gonna have to come up with one sometime. Anyways, but I'm about to show you before you roast me completely on how I keep my reptiles or how everything is set up. Keep in mind that these are all temporary. I've been moving for the past year, the entire year it feels like, and I haven't finally settled down until now. So over the next month, maybe a little bit longer, I'm finally going to be putting all the reptiles in enclosures that I'm going to build and put together and get everything the way I want it to be, so it's the best for them, so they stay healthy, and something that looks really nice for all of them, so they can have plenty of room to, live in their habitats and whatnot. But yeah, basically that's about it. So let's go ahead and jump into the setup, and I'm gonna put this guy back real quick and we'll get started. Okay, so basically to start this off, I'm just gonna, give you a nice view of what I got going over here with the rack where all my reptiles stay. And for some, this might seem, not good or not the way that they would keep the reptiles. But like I said before, this is completely temporary, and all this is going to change very soon within the next month. All of this will be nice cages, nice terrariums, and whatever, just set up really nicely and finally the way I want to, because I'm finally settled in. But this just goes to show that you can keep reptiles in a very simple manner as long as you provide whatever their specific needs are in the most simple format. Then they will do absolutely fine, and these guys have been doing fine for the past year in these living conditions. So anyways, we're going to start from the bottom, and you can already see right here, this is where I keep my crested geckos, on the bottom shelf of this rack. And I'll go ahead and show you right here. These guys are about, their total age probably 2 years plus. I've had them for probably 9 months apiece. We'll go ahead and pull this guy out real quick. So basically I've just got them in a big Tupperware container. There are holes around the side, so don't worry. He's got plenty of breathing room, and this is very, very simplistic. You can see him right there. He's a very pretty little guy, a male, and all I've got right here basically is some PVC piping, paper towels for substrate, a fake vine, and that's it. There he is, just chilling right here. See if I can get him to get on my hand real quick so I can show you. There we go. So there he is. If I can get him to, pretty little guy. He's doing great. Can't wait to get him in a good setup. But yeah, none of my reptiles have names, unfortunately. So if you guys have any ideas, just let me know. But I'm gonna go ahead and let him go right now. Put him away. And for these guys, I usually mist their cages once in the morning, once at night, and these tubs hold enough moisture that's more than enough to suffice for their water. Alright, and in this one, I've got my female. See if I can find her. Basically, I've got just a little log thing over here that's got an opening, a vine, and then another fake plant. See if I can find her. She's hiding down here. I'm not really going to bother her too much, but you can see her right there. Very pretty. She's lost her tail recently because she absolutely loves to go buck wild at night. Some crested geckos just are a little bit crazier than others, and she loves to jump and run and do all sorts of craziness, so she ended up unfortunately losing her tail. But otherwise she's doing pretty good. She wasn't eating well for a while, but I'm trying to get her back to weight, and she's starting to eat pretty well right now, so she's doing pretty good, and that's her setup right there. Okay, put her up. It's really hard to do with one hand. And the ball python, which I showed you in the beginning that I was doing my little intro with, this is where he stays. Just a long, not too tall Tupperware container. I don't know the exact size. A hide with a, there's a heat cable running underneath the racks, so that's how I keep all my reptiles warm. He's slithering back into his hide right there. And then there's a water bowl, and essentially this is as simple as I've been able to keep it over the past year. Ball pythons really don't need much. You can make their setup super elaborate, but at the end of the day, they usually like to remain in one spot. So this is absolutely perfect if you're wanting to temporarily keep one this way. They will even stay like this the rest of their lives if you really wanted to keep them like this. I personally want to upgrade and make all these setups better, but for right now this works. Okay, moving on to this. This is my African bullfrog, and this is probably the hardest animal that I've had to keep. He eats really well, that's not the problem. He eats everything: night crawlers, crickets, superworms, small thawed mice, and all sorts of stuff, but his setups have been the absolute hardest for me. I've tried to keep him in 40-gallon breeder tanks with complete pond setups and filters and all decorations and everything, but at the end of the day, he ends up just wanting to burrow. That's what they do. African bullfrogs love to burrow in the dirt, and occasionally they like to go into the water, but they really don't do much but sit all day. But I absolutely love him to death regardless of how hard he is to keep. The funny thing is the simple setup that he has right now has been the one that he's thrived the most in. Whenever he was in his 40-gallon, you would never see him. He would completely burrow under the dirt. He actually likes to come out now, and he's more active. I keep saying a he, but I actually think it's a she. And yeah, you can basically see how that's set up. See if I can get a better shot of this real quick. Get that top off there. So there she is right there. Just another Tupperware container that gets dirty immediately. All the dirt gets in there in a little log driftwood thing, so she can get out, and that's basically it. And I've actually got a heat pad for her because they do require fairly warm, humid temperatures. Okay, moving on to that, I'm going to skip these tubs right here and go to my adult leopard gecko setups. Right here we've got my female hypotangerine leopard gecko underneath a very simplistic bowl hide, and we'll go ahead and see if we can get her up without disturbing her too much. She's actually been bred once, and every egg she laid was fertile. If I can get her out of here. This is really hard to do with one hand. There we go. Okay, but she's a pretty little girl. Trying to get her back up to weight, and she's doing really well though. Just a paper towel, food bowl with some calcium and some worms in there. and a humid hide, and that's basically it. I'm gonna try to put her back in there. Place this back over there carefully, very carefully. There we go. Sorry, girl. Okay, and the male he was bred to stays right here. I'm not gonna pick him up because he's a bit of an asshole. Actually, he's not a very mild-tempered leopard gecko, but he is a pretty little guy. He's a Bell Sunglow. Sorry about my finger. And before you judge me on the whole sand thing, I know that this is the big no-no of the reptile community and just keeping leopard geckos in general, but I only keep both my large males in these sand setups, and I've monitored them before to make sure that they don't eat the sand. They don't. I usually like to feed them out of their cage, but they never get enough sand in their mouth or anything for them to get impacted or anything like that. It's based on personal preference. I see people keeping them on eco earth, which in my opinion can be just as dangerous as any small grains of sand. You might be able to say, you know, that it digests better, but there's some still large wood chips that are mingled within the substrate of eco earth. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do to get these guys a better setup, but I'm going to figure something out. I don't know if I'm going to keep them on sand just for the fact that everybody shuns upon it, but for now he's doing great, eating really well. As you can see, there's a worm right there, which I'm actually going to pick up and put back in the bowl, and we'll go ahead and let him be on his way. And then this guy right here is my other male leopard gecko. He's just a regular high yellow. He was my first actual leopard gecko. Really huge guy. He's I want to say like 96 grams or something insane. He's just a regular leopard gecko though. He's not a giant or anything like that. But he's really pretty for a high yellow, and he just chills. He's not going to be bred or anything. He's just my my leopard gecko that I like to keep as a pet, and he's doing really well. Look at that fat tail. He's awesome. His name is Samson, and this guy's name is Wrigley, and then my female was Lily. So I do name my leopard geckos. Just my other reptiles I haven't really named, but they all have really unique personalities, and I love them to death. As for animals, that's all the reptiles that I actually have. And then of course I've got my mealworm set up right here. Got a potato in there. And then up here, I don't know if you can see, but I've got all the darkling beetles for breeding, and there's some fruit in there for them to munch on. Over here I've just got basically crested gecko food, some bowls, some calcium, tongs, some more plastic hides. Down here we've got a fake iguana, another big hide, a bowl, and then before I forget, I actually forgot, these are the leopard geckos that this guy produced with my female, and they're little babies, and they're actually, all three of them are going to find a home next week. They will no longer be here, but see, look at this guy. Let's see if I can get him without making him too upset. There he is right there. They've just got a misted paper towel with a bowl, and they eat small mealworms. And then I'll show you this guy. Bring him out. There he is right there. Doing good, doing good. Put that back on him. Then if I can get to the last one. Uh-oh. there he is right there. All doing fantastic. Eating pretty good. Before I cut this video off, I need to put his hide back. But yeah, that's my setup, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm actually going to the Charlotte, North Carolina Repticon next week to maybe get some pickups and some supplies and stuff to start this journey. But if you enjoyed it, please drop a like and let me know if you'd like to see more videos. I plan on posting some more and updating everyone on how my reptiles are doing, and if I get any new additions, you'll see them as well. But for now, take care, and yeah, we'll see you guys later.